Ryan, we have a crowd here. This is going to go out to a lot of people. Thank you for joining us. I think we should start out, but who the heck is Ryan? Like, who are you? Let's introduce you to everybody.
Great. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me. And hello, guys. Hello, everybody. So my name is Ryan. I'm the CEO of Glow Production. And we are based in Malaysia. We specialize in cinematic trailers, in-game cinematics, game arts, so on and so forth. So yes, that's me. So we started. Oh my, this is way back. We started in 2011. So now we are like 13 years old. I'm in the studio. Okay. So for me, basically, I'm really passionate about animation. I remember when I was like 11 years old, back in 1993. That's how old I am. And the first movie I watched that got me hooked on the TV screen is Jurassic Park. So I'm not sure if you guys watched it. The first Jurassic Park, yes. And
yes.
It was on a VHS tape. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's a VHS tape with this size. And yeah, I was so impressed by the CGI, especially the dinosaur. It was like, wow, mind blown. I was like, how the heck they did that? So since then, I told myself, I need to find out like how they put this magic in the film. Then I finished my high school. Straight away, I asked my parents, I need to join an animation school right now. So I got lucky. So I joined one of the art colleges in Malaysia. So it was the One Academy. And after that, it took me 3 years. And it was tough, really, really tough. We have to go through all the foundation, anatomy, figure sketching, color study, and everything. So, but thanks to that 3 years, I'm happy to tell that I'm good. So I got very lucky that I got to join first studio back in Malaysia in 2003. I think 2003. Yeah, and I'm lucky enough to get involved in some of the AAA projects back then, especially from Nintendo, Super Mario, football, Nintendo DS. So it was really exciting for me. And after I stayed there for about 4 years, and then I realized that something is missing. We need something different. So a studio culture that is more relaxed and enjoyable, rather than those really corporate Japanese way of working, Asian way of working. So me and my partners, we took a leap, and then we started Glow Production. And yeah, we've been now since then.
That's awesome, Ryan. So should we introduce you guys? We didn't do that
as well. You can.
Oh yeah.
So my name is Stefan. I'm the CEO of the M3DS Academy. And I'm very happy that we can organize such an amazing event, a podcast where we can share the amazing stuff about the industry, where is it going, and what we are going to do about it. Because actually you are doing very good stuff, and I've seen your work, and I'm very happy that we can share that. And also it deserves a sharing, because the cinematic, it's amazing. I was blown away that.
Yes. Yeah, but in your small.
Yeah, Ryan, I think it would probably be a good time right now in the video to probably play that.
We're gonna just like
cut ready, here we go. Let's play. Yeah. Ryan, you want to set that up really quick, actually? What are we about to see for your latest? What we're going to do is you're going to introduce it, and we'll play it right after you introduce it, and then we'll come back. But we're not actually going to play it here.
Yeah. We're just going to do it in post-production.
Yeah, well, all this section will cut out, by the way.
Yeah.
So Ryan, set it up.
Do a share screen, maybe?
Yep.
So we can see.
Let's do it.
Will it be able to play for that?
Yeah,
Ryan, can you actually share for the audience here?
Screen.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, why don't you?
If you just
okay.
Why don't you play it?
Show the cinematic.
Yeah, tell everybody what it is, then play it, and then we'll come back and we'll
Okay.
talk about it.
Okay, this is an UE5 short film that we have recently completed. So that's the thing, we have a flair for cinematic short film. So I'm gonna stop talking and let you guys see the video.
Okay.
Okay.
Here it comes.
Only truth.
We can still make it.
Almost. You're all in. Rogues, we've saved the world countless times. Be careful. Goodbye, Clay.
At the
Thank
end,
you, thank you.
Yeah, at the end we'll just swap the camera around so you can see all the people just giving you an applause.
Oh,
No, everything is virtual. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian, we have a big, we have a pretty packed theater here of game developers
nice.
and artists and, you know, tech artists and all sorts of fans. You know, I want to talk to you specifically about, you know, this piece. You know, I don't know if people know how compelling it is and how hard it's been in the past and more recently to make something of that quality, to like hit CG inside of a game engine. And you're not just scratching the surface. What you achieved is very commendable. It's very good. You know, people are really drawn by it. But not just the visuals, the storytelling, the camera work, you know, it's all working. I mean, is anybody familiar here with the term mise en scene? I think everybody might know that one, no? It means when all elements come together and working in harmony, you know, in balance. And it's a French term, it's a filmmaking term. I think it was actually coined in French New Wave. Don't quote me on that. Film history, cut that out, somebody. But you know, Ryan, whether you guys are achieving that just by like instincts, which is better than like going by the book. You know, I hate that. Oh, let's make something by the book because film history says you should do something this way. I hate that.
Me as well.
I like when it's organic and when it's real, like and you really have passion behind it. When I watch this cinematic short film, you feel that your team is passionate about what they're making and they're having fun doing it. And so I think that is really what's motivating, especially for the audience and people watching at home. You got to like what you're making, you know? And so tell us about that process and that journey.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Joe. Wow. It took us 3 months to craft this short film, and at first we started with pre-production. So how we came up with this idea? I am a big fan of fantasy storytelling, especially knight with those very shiny armor and cool looking, helmet. So and then I talked to my team. I said like, oh, let's try something different this time. And how about a knight and a dragon? But I need the dragon to look slightly different from the traditional dragon. So we sort of like mix the dragon with a beetle. So basically, it's a hybrid where you can see that the head is slightly more beetle-ish. So yeah, that's how we got the first idea. Then we spent about 2 to 3 weeks of brainstorming, coming out with ideas, concepts. Basically, that's the concept stage. And we use quite a bit of AI to help us with that, to speed up the process.
That's
There you go.
something Joseph talked before you got on.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great tool. It helps speed up everything, especially during the pre-production stage. Okay, so after the pre-production is done, we start looking into like the casting, because that was the first time we were working with 3D scan human character. Yeah, so back then we always use like handcrafted character head model, and then it's time to try out photogrammetry scanning. And then we engage with the Ukrainian studio, which is Deep 3D studio. They are fantastic. So they help us to cast the right talents for the character. And then they send us the raw data. So it was done within 3 to 4 days. So it was really, really effective. And then we start working with the Unreal Engine. So this time I told my team that we have the virtual camera. So let's do something with that. So we have our own motion capture setup, virtual camera and everything. So we wanted to create a one-take camera for this short film. Because that will bring more immersion to the audience. So I felt like, oh, let's do that. And then, so we did the preview, layout, and even blocking in Unreal. Yeah, so it was a great improvement in terms of the speed. And the rest, like the model for the character, the background, everything was done in Maya. Background, of course, we utilized the Pixel Megascan library. It was so convenient. So traditionally, we have to spend 2 to 3 months just to get the environment done. But with Quixel, I think we got it done within 3 weeks. Yeah, that's how hard it was. So so throughout the animation process, the modeling is happening at the same time. So lighting and rendering all done in Unreal Engine using the Lumen.
Yep.
So we try to make it like 30 frames per second. Hopefully, it will get closer to the in-game cinematic experience. So yeah, luckily we got it like
It sounds easy.
25.
It sounds easy, but it's definitely not that easy.
Yeah,
Well, there's definitely one thing that we should all hear what he's saying and read in between the lines is that he's using other resources to fill gaps to speed things up.
Yeah.
So he's not going to create his own, like Ryan doesn't have to build a Glow, and maybe Glow does this in the future, but Glow doesn't have to build a whole infrastructure for 3D scanning.
Yeah.
They can, but why build that right now when they can find that gap, fill that gap somewhere else, or fill up, or this gap, or use AI, or use this? There's a message here. It's to focus the things that you're good at, and find areas to fill where other experts can help you.
Yeah.
And don't worry about that. Like, it doesn't matter. Glow's gonna put it all together as the conductor, right?
Yeah.
And that's just like any game studio. We all do this, by the way. Nobody makes everything on their own. Nobody. It doesn't exist. It's not a real thing. It hasn't been a thing ever, by the way. So hear that. Like, Ryan and his team are able to do that in a 3-month window at CG quality because he's embracing and leaning in to the other tools around him and his team.
Yeah, I have students like saying, "Is it okay if I use this plugin?" Like, of course it is. Like,
Yeah, please do.
Please
Please do.
Like, even for me, like sometimes maybe twice or 3 times a day, I try something new. Like, if it's a plugin or something, doesn't really matter. I just try it out. 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna use it.
Right.
But that one time that you find something that's just gonna be something that you're gonna use, like maybe for like years to come.
That's right.
Ryan, I had one question, maybe 2. How much of the humans were meta-humans? And not how much, but because it was just one character.
Yep.
But how did you utilize meta-humans to make it?
Yeah, that's a very good question. That was
the technical
first
guy,
time
so you can.
we roll with. So we use MetaHuman animator for the character. After we received the raw data scan from the Ukraine company, we how to put it, like we wrap it onto the MetaHuman rig. So everything was MetaHuman, even the facial controller, even the mesh, it was MetaHuman. So for the facial capture, we did that as well. We used an iPhone 12, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So for the facial performance. Yeah, so everything MetaHuman.
It's insane how accessible it
Yeah.
is right now.
Yeah,
I mean, that's something that you can maybe, I don't know, like when you started out, like,
Oh my God.
what was facial capture like when you started out?
So when I got to Rockstar, we were using the Mark II faceware system. And at that time, faceware had to be in the studio with you. So there had to be a physical person, a representative from Is everyone familiar with faceware here?
Yeah,
Okay.
Most of us.
Faceware is probably the leader in head
Facial
cams
recognition,
and the software for game development in Hollywood. Now that's changing, by the way. And we're not here to poo-poo faceware, but they charge you a lot of money, everybody. It's a lot of bread. But at the time, we were using a Mark II, and it was a pain in the ass. You had to do all this crazy stuff. But when I see something like MetaHuman Animate, and I'm getting performances like Ryan is getting, and we're for Valis the same thing. We're like, wait, we could go around that and get close to it. Close is good enough because you don't have to worry about the headache.
Yeah, definitely.
Pull the camera back a little bit, maybe push the expressions, afterwards or whatever. But it's a better base.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah, we'll fix it in post. Like, I'm okay with it. Like, it's gonna get better. It's gonna improve. And there's other solutions coming. Like, we could talk later. We're doing head cam, no head cam at all in a volumetric space with no markers, nothing. And just to plug Yum Technologies is a studio in Tel Aviv that is gonna basically rewrite how we do mocap. You don't need anything. You just need to step in the stage and start performing.
Yeah.
Not a suit, not anything.
Nothing. No head cam, no glove, nothing. Think about that. That's where we're at, everybody.
I'm first in line for that.
Yeah.
Yes, right. Yes, faceware has come a long way. Face performances have come a long way. They're gonna keep getting better, by the way. Like, we're at this we're at this crossroads where it's gonna get so good so fast that we're all holding on to the rocket ship now. But hey, Ryan, question for you. What did you guys learn from doing this? Like, specifically as a team, maybe in tech, maybe in the way you work. What were the biggest takeaways that you think are valuable to share with the world watching?
Definitely. I was definitely go with we got more time to tell a story with all the technology, with a shorter amount of production time. because back then we were so busy in the production, so we don't really have much time to think about how to improve the storytelling, how to improve the camera work. But with all this kind of new technology, wow, basically we spend so much time going back and forth with the iteration. Like, okay, we need to change this camera work. This is version A until version 10. We can do that now. But back then, I would say the max we can have like is 3 versions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the biggest takeaway that I learned from this new pipeline.
Yeah, great.
That's a really good point. And this is something I talk, if you ever work on my teams, the thing that I talk most about is pre-production and previs, and mastering every step in previs. And we were just talking about everybody before here.
Yeah.
Like, if you get it right in pre-production, your production is less painful. Less people are gonna burn out. Everybody knows what you're making, right? You know what you're making. You go, okay, I can see it.
And now you can do everything in just one software. Like,
Yeah, and then we just do one software.
Yeah, you can do the
Almost.
yeah.
Yes. But yeah,
Yep.
just to double
So,
down and
yeah.
plus one, what Ryan's saying. That's a great discovery, by the way,
Yeah.
Ryan. I'm really glad that you guys say that. A lot of people don't
you.
have the balls to say that. Everyone's an expert at everything in this world, and it's not true. And
We did not make any mistakes.
Yeah,
while
nobody
making-
made any mistakes. Nobody learned anything. It's not true. Like, we all learn. I'm learning every day. I learn from people like you. There are juniors coming into studios that I'm like, how the hell did you do that? Like,
Where
did
I'm
you
like, hey,
learn that?
I'm like,
Exactly.
show me how to do that in the back. Like, well, what'd you do?
With the cool friends.
Yeah.
But they take pride if they started from zero and created everything like a rock and something like that. But if it is filmmaking, definitely you can use those tools because those tools are created for that.
Right.
And nobody is like taking advantage of them. And maybe somebody is like not even modifying the assets maybe. So for that reason, definitely it's a good thing to see something created in Unreal Engine, and it's like for 3 months.
Yeah, that's also so impressive. I did a similar project in 3
We're
months.
currently doing that.
Yeah.
Almost a similar project to this
Yeah.
one, and it's
The first Macedonian.
It's hard.
Yeah.
The first Macedonian 3-month fast track project. Okay. Yeah, but I mean, I want to hear more about that later.
yeah. We'll show you some sneak peeks.
Yeah. But I think, Ryan, what's really cool is showing and showcasing the artistry of these amazing artists at your studio that the world doesn't really hear a lot about Malaysia, just like the world doesn't hear a lot about Macedonia.
Definitely.
And that's why I want
We're
Ryan to
almost
come.
in the same boat
Yeah.
with this
Yeah.
one. Yeah, we have stars like you from Hollywood and from we have Ned Luke coming,
Yes.
which is like big top
Top guys,
Yeah,
top
top
guys.
guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have Ryan Wong here.
The biggest guy.
The biggest guy, But it is important that we are here to talk about all these great things, but also to bring awareness to game developers that feel like they are not getting attention, that feel like they're in a shadow, that feel like they can't ever get a job because they're in a place that doesn't have work. None of it's true. None of it's true. You make your own luck. You build your own studios, right? You make your own projects. You do remote work. Oh, you want to showcase something to the world? Go make it and showcase it, right? Don't wait for it to be, for someone to bring you in. I made my own luck. Nobody showed me nothing.
Yeah, you broke into Rockstar.
I literally broke into my first day at Rockstar. I literally broke it, So there's a message behind all of it. This is why we're here today. This is why we'll keep coming back. It is about the story of building something that everyone tells you can't do, right? It is the story of, hey, you'll never be able to do this on your own. Sometimes when I make projects, people go, hey, Joe, what do we do next? And I go, well, what do you think we should do next? And it's okay to give people a voice and share that vision and listen to the people around you, because what's worse than playing a game when you're the only person on the team against another full team that's very organized? You can't compete, right? You have to show up with a team that is working together, wearing the same uniform, right? Knows everybody's name, right? Like, can have lunch together because this is your creative family.
Yeah, definitely.
The projects that Ryan does, he can't do on his own. Nobody can do these things on their
No
own.
way.
You don't like to do that.
No.
You don't want to do that. That's not why we got in this industry. We make games. It should be fun. Like, we should be working together. You should be locking arms. You should be listening to people. You should be giving advice to people. Don't keep everything in your pocket. It's not the way to do it anymore. Back in the day, it used to be that way. When I was first getting started, everyone held their secrets. Don't hold your secrets. Share your secrets.
Yeah. Do you have any secrets to share, Ryan? Anything?
Maybe some advice.
I want to ask one thing. What's your number one tip for Unreal? Let's go with filmmaking for now.
Oh, put him on the spot.
Number one tip up.
You put him on the spot.
We have to. We have to.
Yeah, this is a tough question. I would say don't be afraid to explore new stuff, especially when you come from the traditional pipeline, pre-render, Maya, Arnold, V-Ray. Because I heard quite a lot of story from the biggest studios out there, or even the French studios. They said, oh, in order to change this pipeline, it's gonna take months or years.
Yeah.
So just do it.
Yeah.
Pick a few guys, just throw them into that R&D group, and then just do something.
I love that.
Yeah, that's how it started. Yeah.
And speaking of traditional renderers as well, like we see Unreal now using path tracing as well, which is, it's not real time, but it's almost real time.
Yeah.
What do you think about the path tracer in Unreal as well?
Oh, it's a lifesaver when it comes to pre-rendering. Let's take the render time example. If you are using Arnold rendering, it could easily take up to like 8 hours per frame. Path tracing, couple of minutes, I would say, max.
At
10
most.
minutes. And I forgot to mention this. The good thing about using Unreal Engine is when you're doing lighting, you don't have to just, every time you have to click render just to test it out and see whether the lighting is pointing in the right direction, the shadow is doing well. So in Unreal Engine, you can see it on the spot.
Even if it's not like the full qualities, it's basically you have a almost close to real preview in the editor at real time, and then if you want to go crazy resolutions and samples, you can do that as well.
Yep, exactly.
Did you
Exactly.
make previs for the cinematic?
Yes, we do. Traditionally, we will just key everything in like this motion in Maya, but with Unreal Engine, we just mocap and previs everything at the same time.
Yeah.
So it saves so much time. Yeah.
We're seeing now, because of the advent of real-time engines, we're seeing previs just become
the final.
And that was never a thing. I still feel very strongly about using Maya and Mobu and and doing your gray boxing there, and then migrating, and then your layout becomes your first pass anyway. So in a way, it's still doing that, but there's a lot of movement right now of just saying, hey, let's just do everything in Engine, period. And now a lot of people want to integrate Blender and maybe replace other things, but we're going to see less systems and less programs used over time, and be kind of a one-stop shop. Obviously it's already here. So, Ryan, I would love maybe in the future, I don't know if this is a good time to hint at maybe the next short film that maybe we don't have to do that, but be really great is to maybe show a previs version of that after that next thing releases, and kind of show the gray box where it started to where it ended. That's a really great analysis. Who doesn't love those before and after videos? Those are my favorite.
One of the most satisfying things.
Yeah, I love it. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be probably a really cool thing.
Let's do that.
Yeah. So Ryan, there's a couple things that I wanted to. So I recently joined Ryan's advisory board, and Ryan and Glow is now moving more into AAA in North America.
Ooh.
So
big step, Ryan.
Big step. So Ryan, you want to talk about maybe the aspirations and the goals of Glow, like where you guys want to be, you know, in the next, let's say 5 years, like what does Glow look like in 5 years?
When I first started this studio with my partners, one of the biggest dreams is to get onto the global stage where everybody collaborate together. You know, from time to time, we get a chance to work with someone from European country or from the US. That's the good thing about making great content is collaboration. So for us, I think that hopefully in the next 5 years, we get to work with some of the biggest AAA studios, you know, especially in-game cinematics, because we love storytelling. And it's not a very common opportunity to get to work directly with them on this level, like so much creative freedom in that sense where we can collaborate, brainstorming idea or even proposing some sort of solution to them. Because Malaysia, to give you a bit of context, like what Malaysia looked like 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, there were only like 1 or 2 animation studios back then. So everybody was working on game art. So when it comes to game art, you imagine like asset modeling, some sort of game animation. So not much opportunity in cinematic storytelling. So fast forward to now, we have more than like 30 studios.
Wow.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a 10x right there.
Yeah.
That's 10
That wait, that
Yeah.
sounds like what Macedonia could be.
Yeah.
It could.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
definitely the direction that it's going.
Yeah.
Whether it would be, it's all
Yeah.
up to the
Well,
world
I
to
think- I
decide.
think
But
it I
it's
think
up
you have
to
a
us to
blueprint.
decide.
Yeah, well, it's up to all of them.
Up to them
Yeah,
as well.
I mean, but you like look at Ryan's blueprint. You know,
Yeah.
Ryan is probably Glow's the premier
In
studio
Malaysia.
in Malaysia.
Yeah.
You know, and you guys are looking at maybe your own future here.
Yeah.
Why not? Why can't that be a thing? And that means, and I don't just mean Macedonia, by the way. There's people all over the world that are going to see this. But you know, Ryan, one thing that is really, really amazing about what you guys did is you didn't take no for an answer, and you always persevered through challenges, right? And when I hear about you taking on this new challenge of coming into the United States and Canada and Europe, like we can't forget one fact. The game of the year for 2023 was Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, definitely.
Glow Productions
The
did
cinematics.
Baldur's Gate 3. Did any of you even know that? By the way, congratulations. You don't even know that, right?
Yeah,
Because we don't really promote these teams that are helping these major games win awards. But now we're gonna start doing that. We're gonna start doing that.
That's one thing that we talked previous, like with the big actors, like in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like even though there's a whole team behind the movie.
What about the big studios that are helping, right?
Yeah.
What, the smaller studios that help with the
Smaller
big
studios.
studios.
I mean, we've outsourced projects as well. Like it's almost like you're forgotten. Like you do the job, that's it.
Yeah, we need to change the messaging, the narrative behind this, and start celebrating this work and celebrate teams like Glow and you know the artists on that Glow because they should not be forgotten because Baldur's Gate can't be Baldur's Gate without these pieces, these important pieces.
And when somebody is working on a project, they all want to see their names at the credits.
Yes,
And
I
also
agree.
not the studios, just so that's also a problem because
Yeah.
when the films or games are ending, it's just the studios. But also the studios are not allowing the artists from the studios to be listed from.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Yeah,
So we can change that maybe.
yeah, we could change that too. That
But
could be another
mostly,
thing.
I'm very happy to see that also it's like it's your own brand and also your own product, and it's very nice for somebody to start and create their own product. So we have many studios that are not designing their own products and just working on projects. So from that side, definitely he cannot say anything about the new project, correct?
No, he can't say too much.
Yeah.
I think in time, Ryan there'll be some press releases in the future and stuff. So.
We're going to share that, so I'm very happy to see that, really.
You know, I actually wanted to not put Ryan on the spot, but everybody we talk to, you know, maybe there's an opportunity to get an email from Ryan's hiring team, and maybe we can get some resumes out to Ryan's team, and maybe we can maybe you guys can
yeah.
help work on some projects.
We have a bunch of job hungry.
I have an idea.
Modelers.
I have an idea.
Animators.
What about the thing, Ryan? The thing that you're coming up with, the next secret thing. What if you use some of the top talent from the M3DS Academy to come in as an intern or in a way to help work on some of the areas of that short? That could be a huge win for everybody, right? Maybe this is something that
I think they're kind of screaming in their hearts.
Would any of you back here want to work on something like that and put it on your resume? Anybody here? Everybody's raising their hand here, right? Okay.
15 people raising their hands.
So maybe we can figure that out.
That's a good thing because they're now going to come to the academy at 6 a.m. So that's a good.
Okay, good. We'll be there at 6 a.m.
See you at 6.
There's something important about what everybody saw. Nobody asked Glow to put that together.
Yeah.
Glow and Ryan said, we need to get our hands dirty. We need to be experts in Unreal. We need to be experts in making these things internally.
Yeah.
And every great studio, whether it's, Naughty Dog or name it, right? It doesn't matter. There's this thing that we all do. We have our main projects, and then we have this little R&D pipeline that is testing things out. And you know what usually happens? Sometimes they materialize into The Last of Us.
Yeah.
And you go, wait a minute. The things that we're working on is only creating this other thing that was in the middle, an idea or an internal demo, and it becomes this amazing thing anyway. And that's where all of the advanced technologies are being prototyped. So I encourage everybody to always have a little side project or a big side project happening in parallel to whatever you're making. Can it go on forever? I would hope not, but put resources into that, to do your testing in this environment, prototype things. It may actually end up being the thing that is most compelling.
Yeah, it's like a marathon, so it's always a good thing to showcase your best skills, and update it, because every time you're doing some new stuff and definitely going to be a better artist or whatever you're working on. So it's a good thing to have, as long as you grow much more, your project should be longer. Yeah. And from that side, definitely you're going to have more people seeing your work, and you're going to inspire the other artists, because and also one thing that I would like to ask everybody, and also you, so it's a good thing to share your process, but the artists are not sharing their process. So at the beginning, you're going to see the worst art, but that's the best one because you started from zero.
Yeah.
So how we can encourage them to share their process
I always say share more early on, because sometimes artists go into their own silo and they go, oh, I'm not ready to share.
Yeah.
And I say, well, I think you should share. It's not like we're going to rip it apart. Yeah. It's like, why make big changes later when we can make micro adjustments now and find a better result quicker together?
Step by step.
I don't think any artist should go into their own sort of dark shadow and come out the other end thinking that they have the best thing. I don't think it works like that. I think that artists need to be collaborating. Whether the art director is guiding that, or art director, or the creative director, or each other, I think that's very important. So share often, quicker. Don't go, I'm not ready to show this yet. But here's the best thing about taking advice and taking feedback. You take the feedback that matters. You don't just take all feedback.
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
Yeah.
I think young artists actually get kind of bent out of shape because they're like, oh my God, they're gonna hate it. No, it's embrace the constructive feedback. It's gonna make you better.
And that's one thing about the 3D community as well. Apart from, in spite of other communities, I think our community is a lot better at that.
Really?
At community toxicity and everything.
That's great.
Most posts that I see, even from starters, from students, from everyone else, they don't shit on them. They just they give them actual feedback, and they tell them, okay, this is not good, but this is what you can do. This is how you can improve. It's not this is bad, and that's all.
Yeah, I mean, we're in a constant, think about our social media lives and everything. It's a constant, we're searching for instant gratification.
Yeah.
It's not great for our mental health. When we're doing our own creation, like we have to get out of that mindset that it's not going to be done instantaneously and it's not going to be perfect.
Yep.
And don't care what other people think that don't matter. Like there's going to be people that have voices that really matter. Maybe your friend Jeff from down the block who's just like a gamer, maybe he's not the best person to be giving you the core advice, right? Find the people that matter, that you're going to respect the advice and it's going to make sense and you're going to find value in that. Like that's also important is who's giving the interpretation of feedback, right? Yeah. But hey, Ryan, is there anything else that like while we have you still?
Do you might want to add?
Anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to add? Anything you want to plug right now? Like the floor is yours.
The time to plug.
Yeah, the floor is yours, my friend.
I mean, to add on top of what you guys have been saying, for me, I was lucky to found a mentor when I was in the college time. So a mentor is really important to give us inspiration.
Yeah, great point.
That's a good closing statement.
So if you're lucky, just follow the mentor everywhere he goes. Just to stalk him. Basically, just to learn from him. Because without my mentor, I wouldn't be here today. Because the first thing he taught me is like, there's no great achievement without sacrifice.
Yeah.
So you need to sacrifice in order to achieve something. So one very good example, he always tells me that while your friends are enjoying somewhere else, you spend your time until like 2 a.m. That's the thing that you're sacrificing for. And then the result that you got is something that belongs to you. So no one can replicate that.
Maybe the best
So
thing.
yeah,
What a great statement.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's very profound, Ryan. Yeah.
There was
I carried with me.
There was
Until
one
now,
very
yeah.
similar statement as well in your presentation. I'm not sure
When?
From,
2020.
2020?
yeah, it was like follow the experts. They'll show you what not to do,
And then
they'll
do
show
it.
you, and then they'll do it.
And then do it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's exactly what Ryan is saying is, you know, people are going to give you the boundaries and it's your job to break them, but fail along the way.
Yep.
And embrace the failure. The biggest success in my career is my failures.
Yeah.
Because that's where I find my bottom and my support. Because now I have something to stand on top of and build from. And that becomes a foundation of learning and, you know, drive and passion and understanding your own sort of limits, you know, and then breaking them. And that's like, Brian, what you said is profound. I agree. We hear a lot of great leaders say the same things.
I think
Yes.
that's basically all the time we have
All right.
with Ryan.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan,
Yeah.
once again. It was
Thank
a
you,
pleasure
Ryan.
to have you.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. Round of applause for Ryan.
Bye.